Hey Aries, I'm Chris. Welcome to the House of Light and Shadow. Welcome to October, Aries. Now, my energy or my feeling connecting to your energy coming into this reading is one of great stability. We're in this time of Libra, in the time of cardinal air. And my feeling for you guys right now is like, when a fire, it has the perfect amount of air where it's not too big and burning too bright and it's not like almost dying down. That's my feel for you guys this month. First of all, Aries, let me start off by saying something. And I don't know if people tell you this enough, but Aries, you're an inspiration. And we love you so much. And we need you. And I want you to remember that. Because I think that this month, and for the rest of the year, is a time for you guys to really do less thinking and more doing. To actually act on that Aries impulse. Act on that Aries courageousness to just go and do and be. Because it feels like to me, Aries, that there's been a lot of darkness, whether it's just very recently or if you feel like it's sort of been a pervasive feeling your whole life. There's been a little bit of just under the surface simmering darkness with you guys. And my feeling is that right now you are coming out of that darkness. Aries, look, for our central situation for October, we have the devil. So this is what I mean, guys. We're still facing some heaviness. We're still facing some darkness. As much as we're sort of overcoming that, at the same time, there's a lot of work to still be done. There's a lot to reconcile with yourself. There's a lot here, Aries, that makes me feel, actually, with the devil, is that right now you need to be very careful about being too hard on yourself, about pushing yourself too much, about beating yourself up for things that aren't really your fault, right? Beating yourself up for things that maybe other people are responsible for. I'm looking at my notes from my meditation. Guys, it's like for you right now, there's a lot of, it's like as if your energy has been sort of a tangled web, like knots, and your energy has been all over the place, kind of built up inside, kind of frustrated, kind of not sure what to do, where to go, a lot of second guessing. And right now what you're in the process of is a lot of untangling. And in untangling that energy and allowing your energy to flow freely again, allowing yourself to feel purpose, to feel direction, we have to sort of face the darkness. We have to face the things that we're scared of. We have to face our mistakes, Aries. We have to face the ways in which we fucked up. We have to face the way in which maybe some bridges are burnt. We have to face the way in which, maybe we weren't at our best all the time. The danger here, Aries, is that this month and the rest of the year is to not get lost in this. Is to not start to see yourself as a bad guy. Not to see yourself as somebody who made a lot of mistakes. It's time to practice extreme gentleness with yourself. Because in our ideals, Leo, Aries, is the sun. So this is what I mean when I say we're coming out of a time of darkness. It's as if you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's as if you can see happiness is on the horizon. But Aries, sometimes it's almost as if the devil is the shadow of the sun. It's as if when we focus so much on happiness, when we focus so much on the success that we should be having and how our money should be looking and how we should be doing in our life right now, what happens with that intense focus on the light, with that intense focus, there's a philosophy, I can't remember the name of it, but where when you sort of look for something so much that you sort of validate to yourself that you don't have it, right? So Aries, if you're searching really hard for happiness, if you're saying, I need happiness, when is happiness gonna come? What it does is it sort of reinforces to yourself in a way that you're not happy. It sort of makes the unhappiness in your life more pronounced. So Aries, my key here, looking at this card with the sun, is not to focus so much on the happiness, but to focus on the things you need to do to get there, right? The focus now till the end of the year is to say, look at the parts of your life where you're unsatisfied. Look at the parts of your life where you feel less than good. This is a time, Aries, where we're not putting up fronts. We're not fronting about covering up our insecurities. We're tackling our insecurities. We're saying, okay, my money's not great. Okay, I'm not happy at my job. What are we doing about it though? Less thinking, Aries, more doing right now. And in doing so, you see the way that in this card, the sun, his eyes are kind of focused to forward. It's as if like in these moments of happiness, we have to be practical. We have to like focus on the things that are actually going to address our insecurities. Our insecurities, Aries, are not from nowhere. We're not going to fix them by looking in the mirror and telling ourselves how great we are. We're going to fix them by fixing them, by addressing them. If you're not happy with how you look, buy clothes that compliment you, right? Like that's the kind of attitude that we're adopting right now is not to get sunk into, I wish my body was better, I wish my money was better, I wish I wasn't in these circumstances. If we get there, Aries, if we get there, we're just going to stay stuck. In our past, Aries, look at this. 7 of Cups, 2 of Wands, and 4 of Wands. So I think, guys, that there's some unhappiness here. With the 7 of Cups and the 4 of Wands in particular, what I feel like is that situations with regards to home life, with regards to family, with regards to the things that should make you feel like you should celebrate. Maybe not having the accomplishments that you thought you would have by now. Maybe your career is a little off path. Maybe you experience some disconnection from loved ones. And we've been a little lost there, Aries. With these cards, it's telling us that we've been sort of in a place of what I said from the beginning of not sure which way is up, which direction we should be going in. And that's why I think with the 2 of Wands especially, it's time to just go and do and act, to make deliberate choices, to just create a vision and just go for it. Like Aries, if you like, I've always wanted to take a class in this, sign up. If you always felt, I've always wanted to go to this place, make the plans to do it. There's an urgency to your life right now, Aries. There's an urgency to acting. There's a sense that this sort of pleasure, this sort of fulfillment, this sort of celebration might feel a little elusive, might feel a little evasive to you, right? A little hard to get. Aries, we've talked about this before, how much we need honesty. We've talked about how much it's important to not distract yourself. And it seems here, like talking from our past, Aries, what we're coming into the month with, is that there's a lot of distraction. That's why the devil is here. Not to say bad things are happening, but to say there's shit you have to deal with. You have to face it. Like, this is not a time when your emotions can be channeled into, being productive. Your emotions can be channeled into other things. Your emotions, Aries, need to be looked at. Your emotions need to be directly faced right now. It's like wondering why you're not happy. I told my mom this thing. It's like, perfect. When you're in these shitty situations and we try to pick ourselves up, or we try to say, let me focus on my career so I'll be happy. Let me focus on this so I'll be happy. It's sort of like as if you have a stake through your foot. And rather than focus on taking the thing out of your foot, you're trying to think about, what can I do to alleviate the pain? But it's like, bitch, you still have a fucking stake through your foot. What's the stake through your foot right now, Aries? What is making it hard for you to function? And we're not dwelling on the past. We're not. You see, because what I said from the beginning, that devil is regret. That devil is second guessing yourself, second guessing the choices you made. Aries, the 2 of Wands said that you made choices, and they were deliberate choices, and there were choices that needed to be made. There were choices that you made for the interests of your future, for your well-being. And to now sort of backtrack on, should I have broken up with them? Should I have gone on this career path? Should I have gone back to school? Should I have done this? It's self-defeating. It's missing the point. So Aries, I think what's going on here, of course, this is the past. So let's see what we got going forward. Right now, rooted in your situation right now, Aries, we have the 9 of Cups. So this is what I mean, guys. This is what I mean when I say that you've been kind of winning. What did I write here? You saved your... Look what I wrote. I don't know if you can see it. It says, you saved yourself, but you're not in the clear yet. Aries, you don't need a knight in shining armor. You don't need somebody to save you. You've been doing it. And now you're kind of sitting with your accomplishments. And some of these accomplishments might not feel so good. because it meant radical change, because it meant leaving that person, because it meant getting into debt for the schooling that you wanted to do. It meant you're taking on extra work at your job and now it's like really stressful. This card, I'm telling you guys, the Nine of Cups is always like a be careful what you wish for. You got what you wish for. And if it doesn't feel pleasant yet, again, Aries, the focus is not on your happiness. Your focus is on the things that you need to do to get there. If you focus on happiness itself, what did I say? All it's going to do is reinforce the fact that you're not happy. Reinforce this part of you that doesn't feel fulfilled. So Aries, if this sounds doom and gloom, it's not, because look, you got what you wanted. You got that degree. You got that responsibility at work. You got the separation that you wanted. You did the right thing. You know how like when you break up with somebody and then like there's this moment of regret where you're kind of sad and life isn't exactly what you thought it was going to be. You thought it'd be fun and free and you feel so relieved, and then it's like, ooh, this is actually hurting. This is heavy. This is hard to deal with. That's sort of the vibe here, Aries. So I think what the message here, guys, is to commit. When I say face the devil, it's like commit. You made these choices for yourself. You got what you want. And double down now. Say, this is the path I made. How do I work with it? How do I do the best I can with the situation I created for myself? And what we want to do, especially at the end of this year, we have all these retrogrades we've been dealing with all year. Aries. Ay. And now for the end of the year, we're out of all these retrogrades, right? So now it's a good time to go, to be successful, to take chances, to take risks. Aries, going into the future, going into October, we have the Ten of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, and then the Three of Cups. So good. As we get towards the end of the month, as we get closer to November, we have celebration. We have what I was thinking before, a connection to loved ones, to family, to friends. Drinking every day because we drink to our accomplishments. That's where we're going here, Aries. But, like, the path is not easy. In the beginning of the month especially, guys, things come to an end. Like, in a way, the Ten of Swords shows us that, like, things needed to die, and sometimes it hurts when it does. But it was, like, needed. It was necessary. And for some of you, the Five of Pentacles is going to mean some loneliness. For some of you, that Five of Pentacles is going to mean some money struggles. But it's the result of getting what you wanted. I'm not like playing fast and loose with your feelings. I'm not making light of them, Aries. Maybe a little bit, because we need a little levity, right? We are an air sign time. Air sign is just a little lighter. It's in the spirit of fun. It's in the spirit of how you're going to end up. Like Aries, if you just work on your money, if you can sit a little bit with your loneliness, if you can sit with, let's say, sit with the stress that you sort of put on yourself. You know, again, maybe you needed to leave that relationship and it was the right thing to do, but now there are things that are going to hurt. And that doesn't mean you should regret it. It does not mean that you should think that you made stupid choices. You made good choices, Aries. You made choices that were in line with your happiness. You made choices that were in line with your vision for yourself, for your vision of how you get here. The Four of Wands, happiness and joy and comforts. So you can't be mad when you make these choices and that means things have to die and it's a little painful. When the choices you make for your betterment mean that you're a little lonely, maybe a little struggling. It happens, right? It's part of it. You see bottom of the deck, Aries, the world in reverse. So a lot of the changes that you've been happening, you've been resisting. That's why we're in a devil place. Because there was resistance. And the resistance now, even if you acted on it, it brings to light a sense of should I have. The world reverse is sort of like a completion, an ending that you're maybe not so confident was right. let's pull an outcome card here and see what we got for you guys there. But Aries, I'm telling you, if everything seemed like unhappy here or things seem tough, keep in mind by November, like October is Libra season. It's where we balance, it's where we calibrate, it's where we get back on track. Like Virgo season was harsh. Virgo season brought some things to the surface that we needed to deal with. Virgo season did this. Virgo season said, oh shit, there's a fucking devil under my bed. In my bed. There's a devil in my bed. I can kick that bitch out. And Aries, I promise you, if you don't think that the state you're supposed to be in is just happy all the time, if you focus on what brings true satisfaction, what brings true fulfillment, what brings true sense of security, like a real sense of security in your life, in yourself, like what brings that to you now, Aries? You know, I read this book that said confidence is not something that people are entitled to. Self-esteem is not something that people are entitled to. Self-esteem is something that you get from doing hard work, from setting goals and accomplishing them. If self-esteem was just something everyone was entitled to, then no one would have to work for it, right? And that's the message I'm feeling here for you, Aries. It's time to work. It's time to work for your happiness and your fulfillment. You see? If you need a little brightness here, guys, your outcome for the month is the Star. Aries, don't send a lot of nudes. Be careful who you flirt with, Aries. But in all seriousness, this is what I was just saying. The Star aligns us with our ideals, with our goals. When we get self-esteem is when we set goals and we achieve them. When we're feeling aligned with our higher self. When we're feeling aligned with our purpose. And what this month does, guys, with all the struggles that you're going through, with all the changes that you're sort of, the dust is settling from. By the end of it, going into November, going into the rest of the year, this is not a time to think about the things you're going to do in 2020, guys. This is like cram sesh time for 2019. And we're gonna find that happiness that you've been looking for. But you have to act. You have to act on your intuition. You have to act on your impulses. You have to act on what you're being told you need by your higher self. By the people around you even. Take some advice, Aries. Well, speaking of advice, we're going to pull one last card. These are all over the place. These oracle cards to see one last bit of advice. Unconscious. So Aries, what this says is, first of all, is that you're waking up. You're coming back to life. Remember how I said there's this tangle of energy that's now kind of getting smoothed out. Unconscious tells us that we've been in a state of sort of being a little checked out, not living to the fullest. But also what unconscious is telling us, guys, is what I was saying with the Star. It's about trusting our impulses this month. It's about being aligned with your intuition. When your intuition tells you something, you have to act on it. Joseph Campbell says the only thing we know about how to live our lives is to follow our bliss. Aries, act on your fucking impulses. Be a leader in that way. Sometimes it can cause trouble, but what I said in the beginning, we love you. We love the messiness. We love the leadership. We love the courage. We love everything about you, Aries. We love you. So, trust your unconscious. Trust the input you're getting. Trust the signs you see in life. Trust it all. You're on the right track. We're getting there, right? But let's not forget about the real work that needs to be done. Aries, I love you so much. Have the best month ever. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.